Good morning. I am dressed and ready to go do sound in a school gym for a dance competition. I've got a setup at 10:30. I'm meeting Wavy Davy there. He's going to set up the PA for me because he has my big PA for schools. He needs it next week, and he lives right by the school, so he's just going to help me out. It's going to make my life pretty easy. It's bitter cold outside. In fact, it's been so cold around here that they had to cancel this competition last weekend. There was a DJ lined up for it who couldn't do it this weekend for the reschedule, so I was contacted late last week to do this. At first, I was supposed to make announcements and play all the songs in order for these schools and groups that are participating in this competition, but they have their own MC. So now I'm still playing these pre-mixed tracks. I have them, and I've tested them, and they work. And they're numbered, which is really nice. I have a master sheet that I can play off of. I'm going to need to remember to bring my reading glasses. Don't forget my reading glasses because this stuff is kind of fine print. And I'll be mic teching whoever the MC is. And then when it's over, Wavy will take this gear back because he needs it for next weekend. I'll load up what little stuff that I have and pack it up, lots of cables. And by the way, I did preload my Pro Event table and my rocket roller cart and a laptop stand, but I didn't want to preload anything electronic, any cables even. Here's why. Because if I go into this gym and all of a sudden there's condensation from a lot of people in there and my equipment is cold, the condensation will just stick to the equipment. It'll be wet for a while and I have to wait for that to dry off and warm up. As far as cables go, frozen cables are no bueno. If your cables are stiff from being in, like, it's 4 degrees right now, you could break your cables by trying to unwind them and use them. This is not a good thing. So my cables are in here, they're nice and warm. I'm gonna warm up the truck and put the cables in the truck. Speaking of cold, I'm layering up today. I have, something, nice on to go do something like this, but I also have this sweatshirt that I can wear. It's really thick. And I've got some insulated pants under my jeans, and warm socks. It could be hot, it could be cold, I don't know, but just to be safe, I've layered up for this. It's not a lot of stuff. I actually had this condensed out even smaller until I had to start taking it with a wireless microphone. Then things just got big on me. But yeah, the mobile rack, that cable bag is chock full of extensions and XLRs, some gaffer tape if I need it, the cart to haul it all in, the Pro Event table, and 2 computers in the back. Wavy's taking care of tripods and speakers. So it should be good. I'm kind of in a constant state of turn, so I can't turn the camera on much, but we're on our way. Gonna be early. It's warmed up, it's like 10 degrees now. Now I'm calling this doing sound instead of DJing because most of what I'm gonna be doing is sound. They've already given me what to play. I have an order to play it in. I'm gonna be mic teching, so a little bit of DJing for some breaks and things, but for the most part, it's a tech gig. I have about 40 minutes before I can get in, so I pulled off in this little shopping center just to sit until I can pull into the school and get in. I'll probably go a little early. I get real snow blind. The sun reflecting off the snow is really bad for me, so sunglasses are a requirement in this kind of weather. And I'm not a morning guy. I mean, most of you who know me know that. I got good sleep, but I could go back to bed because it's morning. It's not time to get up yet. I'm used to doing this kind of stuff at night. Okay, I've been inside. I've talked to our contact, and we're good to go anytime, a little early. Dave will be here in about 10 minutes, put us right on time. Easy load in. This should be real simple. Okay, so we're here, and that's the setup. It's EKXs and an RCF 705 sub. It's plenty for what we got going on here. This is where the judges and the announcers are. Trophies are there. Spectators are there and there. I won't be able to show you much of this, but maybe we'll take a peek here and there, see what's going on. It's my opinion that this was a tech job, not a DJ gig. It was very rigidly timed. I had a script. I had 62 specific pre-mixed tracks that were numbered that I had to play, and I had to play them at a very specific time. This was rigidly timed. Every track had a very specific time. I'll give you an example. Luckily they were numbered, but let's talk about 12, 12:39, 12:42, 12:45, 12:48, 12:51, 12:54, 12:57, 1 o'clock, 1:03, 1:08, 1:09, 1:18, 1:21. It was like that all day for like almost 4 hours. I had to listen to the announcer talk about who was coming up next, but not only that, but they were talking about somebody who was in the hole, which means in 3X they'll be up. There was somebody on deck, which means they would be next, but then they talked about the performer. They did this for every single act that came out. I don't know why Dance in Palm is like that, but it was. It was a statewide competition, and they had breaks too, but the breaks were odd. Look at my paper here. So I've got 2 acts. I've got one that goes on at 12 o'clock, one that goes on at 12:03, and then I have a break. And then I got 12:09, 12:12, 12:18, 12:21, and a break. Then I've got 12:27 and a break. Then I've got 12:33 and a break. Then I have 11 acts that go out before there's another break. I don't know why it was set up like this. See all those little gray shaded areas? Those were the breaks. And I had timed the breaks with just miscellaneous music. You know, like Taylor Swift stuff or, you know, whatever. Just some filler music. And I was responsible for keeping the time. So while the breaks were happening, which were very specific time lengths, they were like 6 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever, I had to be the keeper of that. So there was no chance for me to do anything. Like, I don't know, maybe go to the bathroom or something, or step out behind this booth. And, you know, tech gigs. I used to do a lot of tech stuff back in the 90s when I was working for an AV company. And tech was built out pretty specific. It was built out for equipment rental and tech time. So, kind of how I think about how I bill out my weddings. I earned every penny on this gig, by the way. They initially wanted me to announce this. I'm glad they didn't. It would have been too much. To try to keep track of all of this and all of these times, plus announcements, I would have gotten so confused, guys. I just don't have the brain for that. I never have. It would have been way too confusing. And the names all sounded so alike. Oh my gosh. Let me put my glasses on and read these names to you. Insanity. Absolute insanity. I've got acts like Stars, Shooting Stars, Attitude All Stars. And then I've got all these different things they call selects. And I got all these tiny preps and youth prep and itty bitty and mini prep. Dude, no way. No way would I have been able to announce this to. And by the way, I got home at about 5:30 and I went to sleep right away, and I got up at about 1:30. Thought I was just going to take a nap, but this just tore me up. Tore me right up. I don't know if it was getting up early or just the whole tech thing that I was doing in the rigid timeline that wore me out, but something did. But I'm very grateful that Dave was able to help me set up, and Dave and Marcia came and helped me break down. I was standing on that concrete in one space for well over 4 hours, and I was standing up straight, and I felt okay, but as soon as I bent, ow, why is that? I don't know. I don't know anything about how the body works, but maybe an anti-fatigue mat would have been the thing to have. If sitting on concrete is difficult, as is plywood stages sometimes. It's odd. The surface you stand on makes a big difference as to, you know, how you feel. At least it does for a person my age. But anyway, it was stressful to try to make all this happen right, because it's so important to these teams and to these coaches. And then, you know, when they go out on the floor, they get all the dancers lined up, and there's coaches that sit in a spot, and what the coaches are supposed to do is go like this when they're ready for me to play track. Well, most coaches did, but some coaches didn't, and they would just be like, it was too far away for me to really see. And then they'd have like sometimes 2 people there, and it wasn't a problem, but sometimes they'd have like 12 people lined up. I don't know who to look at for a cue. There was only one cue that was thrown out that was incorrect. And I started a song, and they're like, no, But it wasn't my fault. They threw out a cue and they weren't ready yet, so I had to start the song over. Other than that, it was pretty flawless, but stressful. So anyway, that was the gig. More fun stuff than this coming up, starting probably Monday. Got some stuff coming in I want to show you. Got some really interesting stuff coming in that I want to show you. That it's sneak peek stuff, so stay tuned for that. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Practice and enjoy.